Hi dear students, as a part of physical science, today we are learning a small topic called as friction. Let's start about the friction. Now, here, first of all, we should know what is meant by a force of friction. So here, simply, a force of friction is a force which opposes the motion of an object over a surface. Suppose any two surfaces. Example, if you see a ball is rolling gradually on the floor. Gradually, the speed decreases and it stops somewhere. The same way, the bicycle rider also, when you start pedaling, it is slowly. When you stop pedaling, gradually the speed decreases and it stops somewhere at some point of a place. So here, what happens? What happens to make the stop the bicycle and the ball? The thing is, frictional force. Just now we said it's a oppositional force or resistance force. Now we see factors opposite. What are the factors affecting the frictions? Simply the nature of the surface in contact. If the nature is smooth, the less is the friction. If the surface is rough, the friction will be more. Second point is how hard the surface press together. Suppose if the presses together hardly, the friction will be more. The surface is presses the surface somewhat lighter, the friction will be less. Now you can see here, when you roll a chalk piece on the slant surface, it rolls down and it stops somewhere when you touch the rough surface. That's how the friction increases and it can stops. Now causes of the friction, let me know about the causes. So simply it's due to interlocking of the irregular between the two surfaces in contact, just what we discussed now. So a smooth surface have less friction because of irregularities between the two surfaces, whereas rough surfaces have larger irregularities between the two surfaces. That's why friction will be more. So force of friction is more in the rough surfaces. Now see here. Now a person is pushing a weight, so it becomes tougher because it have more mass, friction will be more. Whereas in the slide, in the slope, the friction will be less. That's why we can feel a less friction in the slope direction. Now, types of friction. So we have there are three types of frictions mainly: the static friction, and sliding friction, and rolling friction. The static friction works when the object is the rest position, whereas sliding friction when the object is sliding over the surface. When the rolling friction is acts when the object is rolls over the surface. Now we can see sometimes the friction will be useful because in the daily activities without friction we cannot walk on the ground because uh, we are walking when the our soul is pushing against the ground. That's how we are moving towards, or we are moving. That's how we are able to walking. And friction between the feet and the ground helps to walk on the ground. It is possible to write on the pen or pens on the paper, like that. To write on the blackboard also we need a friction. Without friction, we cannot write on the blackboard with chalk. Now see here all the examples. We can hold the glass, we can write, we can walk, we can write on the board, uh, and vehicles are moving because the tides are producing friction against the road. That's how frictions are. We can less the frictions by applying the ball bearings, and also wheels. And in the carom board also we can use the powder as a caroms. That's how we can decrease the friction also. Now sometimes the friction will be reduced by, we can see the soles in the footwear where the grips on the tires, brakes, pedals, while the gymnastics they will apply some coarse substances to increase the friction. If not, they may fall down. Like that, sometimes the friction is undesirable, like a soles of shoes wear out due to friction. The tires of the vehicles are torn out, and the steps of the staircases are footwears which just will be down at the wear out due to frictions. Knives, razors lose their sharpness, adjust due to the friction. That's how we can have some losses also due to the frictions. You can see here how the footwear is turned out, how the tires are damaged, how the sharpness of knife is decreased. These are the some of the losses of the friction. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Now you can understand about the friction, what is meant by friction, types of friction, and you said the harmfulness of friction. Thank you.